What's up, guys? It's Fletch Jackson here with Sports Inc. About 4 months ago, I said we were going to have some content on this channel for you guys, and that just didn't end up happening, obviously, because there wasn't a lot going on in the sports world. But we are now back in the full swing of things. You know, you got NBA, NHL, baseball's happening, MLB, football's about to start, NFL's about to start, college football's already started. No Power 5 teams have played yet, but we're looking to see those teams start. I believe Miami, Florida will be the first Power 5 team to play. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that they are on Thursday of next week. So we're about to get into things, and so I just want to go and break down kind of Baylor's schedule, just quickly go through it, do a win-loss prediction, and see my thoughts. Let you guys comment. Let me hear your thoughts. But I'm just going to go through it. I'm not going to get in depth or anything. I'm just going to look at the games, go through that. I'm going to do a quick preview too of just where Baylor football stands right now with everything that's happened, and everything that we're looking forward to with Coach Aranda and the new staff, and basically an entirely new defense. And so yeah, let's get into it. So I think a lot of people expect, including ESPN, a lot of people expect that Baylor will not be a very good football team this coming season. A lot of people, I think, expect Baylor to be pretty below average, meaning that they're not going to win even 5 games. So ESPN predicts that Baylor will win 4 out of their 10 games this season. They give us wins against, and this is just the percentage to win thing that's on ESPN's website. I don't know if it's FPI or what it's calculated based on, but it's our percentage to win. And so Baylor is favored to beat Louisiana Tech, Kansas, West Virginia, and then Kansas State. Every other game they have us losing. Now, some of them are close. I believe Texas Tech's pretty close, almost 50-50, I want to say. There's another team that's pretty close with us. But I disagree with a lot of that. I think Baylor will do a lot better than that. And I think that people are underestimating Dave Aranda's defensive mind and what Baylor still has on the roster. I think a lot of people assume that since we lost, we did lose a very large chunk of our starting defense and a lot of our key players, but there's a lot of depth on that team. And I don't think there will be as much of a drop-off, and I think what would have been a big drop-off has been kind of negated by hiring the defensive mind of Dave Aranda. I think he's going to make up for it. He's going to put the right guys on the field, and I just think that they're going to be better than expected. And as we know, the defenses in the Big 12 aren't the best, so bringing in a guy who knows the SEC defenses and trying to implement that style in the Big 12, I think he's going to have a lot of success there. But we still got a ton of talent on defense. It's not the same as LSU kind of talent, but there's still guys who are going to make plays, and I don't think we're going to be as bad as maybe what people expect. So, and offense, I might actually say the offense will be better than they were last year. I know we lost Denzel Mims and Hasty, but what you really lose with Hasty was the blocking ability that he had. We still will have the running ability from Treston Ebner and John Lovett and some of those backups who may or may not, make a big impact this year. But the running back game will not be bad. And we still have Charlie Brewer, and you still have all your quarterbacks are still there. The offensive line is virtually the same, and they have another year under their belt, more experience. And Joe Wickline, I think, is going to figure it out, get them turned around, and give Charlie a little more time to work with. And then bringing in Larry Fedora and Munoz as the passing game coordinator and offensive coordinators, I just think that was a really big get for them. And I think that those guys actually are going to be more successful than the previous offensive staff that we had at Baylor. I don't know if they were actually the highlight or not. I think Mims pulled us out, and last year's offense played with a lot of heart, but it wasn't a very complex offense. And there was a lot of times where we would go very stagnant, and they couldn't seem to get it going, especially when they put Bohannon in the game. So I think this staff's going to be better on offense. Baylor's going to be a lot better there. And then on defense, we won't be as good, clearly, but they're still going to be one of the better defenses in the conference, I believe. So I think Baylor's going to win a lot more games than what ESPN and a lot of people are giving us credit for. So let's go ahead and go through the schedule here. So obviously we start off the season September 12th versus Louisiana Tech. They're coming into Waco. And Louisiana Tech's a good team. I'm not knocking them at all. We could have drew Incarnate Word, much easier starting game. So Louisiana Tech's not somebody to just sleep on. But I just don't see them beating Baylor, regardless of us not having implemented our offense all the way or whatnot. I'm not sure if they have or not, but I can't see the talent level of Baylor losing to the talent level of Louisiana Tech. So I'm going to give us a win there. Kansas, that's going to be a win. So that's 2-0 because Kansas is, they're still bad. So we're still going to beat Kansas. Regardless of whether there's holes in defense and the offense isn't completely clicking yet, we're still going to beat them. I'd say we'll probably beat Kansas worse than we beat Tech. Louisiana Tech, that is. The next game, West Virginia. It's at West Virginia, so we're going to travel to Morgantown. But I just don't think that's going to – I think it's going to be a tough game, don't get me wrong, but I think Baylor's going to pull out the win there, and ESPN would agree. So there's one where we're on the same page. So we're going to start off the season 3-0, and then we're going to go to our homecoming game, Oklahoma State. So that's a trickier game, but they get a bye week in between. So they're going to have a whole extra week to prepare for Oklahoma State, and it's homecoming. Oklahoma State's going to be a really good team, but I just think with the extra preparation and the emotions of homecoming, whether or not there's actually any festivities going on, I think Baylor's going to get that win. So that's 4-0. Now this is going to be the first loss. I think when we travel to Texas, I think we're going to drop that one. Texas is stacked. They've got great players. I think it's crucial that they figure it out this year because Texas has way too many good players to be playing at the level that they're playing. So I think that they're going to have a good season for the sake of Tom Herman. So I just don't see Baylor winning that. I think Charlie's going to have a good game. I think they're going to play hard. It may be close, but Texas is going to win that. So that's going to put us at 4-1. And then TCU coming into Waco. TCU's weird. It's like a rivalry. It's hard to ever predict what's going to happen with those games, but I think I'm going to give Baylor the win there because TCU. Well, there's a situation with their quarterback right now where he may not play. Something about medical issues that are maybe keeping him from committing to the season here. So without their quarterback, I just don't think they'll have a shot. Even if he does play, I think Baylor wins. It'll just be a closer game. Loss number 2, that puts us at 5-1. So loss number 2 is going to be the next week. It's November 7th at Iowa State, so they're going all the way to Ames. That's going to be a really cold game. I think it's going to be tough for us to acclimate to the cold weather of Iowa. And Iowa State's going to be good. They got Brock Purdy. They got a lot of guys coming back. I think, in my mind, Baylor's still a better team than Iowa State, but I just think all the conditions are right for Iowa State to win that. And not to mention coming from that stretch there from Oklahoma State, Texas, TCU, then going to Iowa State, that's going to be a rough little stretch for us. So I'm going to have them losing that game. So that's going to put us at 5-2, I believe. Yeah, that should be right. And then the next week, traveling to Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech they're always going to fight. We have a rivalry with them. They're always going to be a tough team to play against. But I don't think I can see Texas Tech beating us there either. I think they lost too much. They weren't good last year. I mean, the game was a lot closer than it should have been, but they didn't get any better over the offseason. So I'm going to say that Texas Tech's another win for us. So that's 6-2. Then I'm going to say Kansas State at home. I say we win that game. Not too much to elaborate on there. I just feel like that's going to be a win. And then the final game, regardless of how Oklahoma's new quarterback does and whoever their new players are that are going to step up, everyone on their freaking team's a 5-star. So I'm not really too concerned that they're going to find the right guys for the job. And I'm going to give Oklahoma the win there. So that puts us at finishing the season at, what did I say there? That's 7-3. So 7-3 out of a 10-game season where it's mostly all conference. That's a pretty good record. That would mean we'd probably be 9-3 if it was against two other non-conference opponents who would probably be not as strong. So, that's a really good season for Baylor, especially considering what they have lost and starting over and then dealing with all the coronavirus stuff going on. So I think if they can pull that off, that'd be really good. I don't know what the bowl games are going to look like or anything like that, or the playoffs. I don't know if Baylor is going to be the second best team in the conference, if they're going to go to the Big 12 championship or what. So I can't predict those games right now. But that's my final prediction. I think 9-3 is what we're looking at. Really good season. I expect a lot from them. Later on, when we get closer to the kickoff for the Tech game, I'll maybe break it down a little more. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We're going to have more content to put out as things go on. There's going to be, I think, some stuff coming out for Miami with some of the other guys, so University of Miami fans are going to maybe want to tune in there. I'll probably put something else out, maybe about Arkansas, maybe about Baylor. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.